Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at another game from the DECO Cassette System, and this was one of the most famous ones for that system, created by Daddy East in 1982, and it is called Bump and Jump. It is also known as Burnin Rubber, but mostly as Bump and Jump. There is the original DECO Cassette System marquee. This was also licensed to Bally Midway for use in their Bally Midway cabinet, and I'm going to play the game off of the Bally Midway cabinet ROM so that we don't have to sit through the boot-up system that took forever in the DECO Cassette System. There's the Bump and Jump Bally Midway marquee and the Bally Midway cabinet. But it was a popular, very cutesy racing game, but definitely with some challenge in it. There's some weird tune that plays during the startup, or during the demo mode. But what you do is you race on these courses, and you speed up just by pushing up on the controller. And you can jump with your vehicle once you pass 200 miles per hour. And you can bump the other cars to send them flying into the side of the road and crash. And they can do the same to you. And you bounce off them quite a bit, so be prepared to get knocked around. But again, once you pass 100 miles per hour, you can jump with your car. Your top speed is 220 miles per hour. If you try to jump with less than 100 miles per hour, you're not going to jump. And there are sections where you have to jump, where the road ends. And if you don't jump, then you crash into the water and lose a car. And anytime that the road's about to end, you will see an exclamation point appear. That is your cue to get ready to jump. And there will also be cars that will drop bombs on the road, and you need to watch out for that. If you do not crash any of the cars, the enemy cars, you will get a 50,000 point bonus. That is pretty darn awesome. You will get like 200 to 500 points for bumping cars into the side of the road. And there's a gap right there. And again, you'll get this exclamation point telling you that the road's about to end. And there we go. Notice that there is sometimes an island before you get back to the mainland. If you time your jump right and land on that island and jump off again, you will get an extra 1,000 points. And if you don't think you can quite do it, then you might be able to hug to the left and stay on land on a side road that goes alongside the river. And that's the end of the first pattern. The game says that there are 32 patterns. That might be like different types of road patterns. There are like 4 seasons. I think there was like spring, summer, fall, winter, and they just repeat. And once you stop and refill your car, which is the end of a level, then they'll show something that's reminiscent of one of the seasons, like a snowman for winter, a dying tree for fall, like a inner tube or something for summer. Stuff like that. It's kind of cute. But this game is kind of challenging because when the cars bump you and it gets all hyper right at the end. Yeah, we're going into summer, so you see a big old inner tube. But yeah, it can get kind of frustrating because the cars can really bump you around. And if they're close to bumping you around, then maybe a jump might be a good idea. Because if they bump you... And there, I got 1,000 points for landing on the island. Ah, crap. Stupid guys that drop the bombs on the road or whatever that is that make you crash. But, yeah, those cars can bump you pretty far. If you're near at least your top speed of 220, then the cars can't slow you down when they bump into you or when you bump into them. Otherwise, you'll slow down quite a bit. And every time that you jump, you lose somewhere around 30 miles per hour off your speed. You know, once you've pushed up to speed up, you could just let go and just move the controller left and right. You'll stay at that speed. You won't slow down unless a car bumps you or you jump. And there I beat the third pattern. The game says that, yeah, there are a total of 32 patterns, and when you beat those all, the game just continues on through the seasons. And like I said, I think that just means that there's that number of road patterns. Whew, just cleared that little gap there. You only get the bonus if you land on an island. If you just land on a separate patch of road, that doesn't count. And you can bump the enemies that are parked right before the edge of the island, or the end of a road. You can bump those cars and jump quickly right after you touch them. Whoops, I just missed that. And the black cars with the skulls on them are like worth 500 points, which is the most you can get from a car. And they're relatively easy to bump into the side of the road. I'm not great at this game by any means. In fact, I was very chicken about trying to jump on the islands. So if you're chicken about that, whoops, didn't do that too well. If you're chicken about that, then it's probably a good idea to try to steer left. Here, I got one. It's probably a good idea to steer left and stay on the road that goes alongside the river. You get an extra life, I think, every 30,000 points. Something like that. And you can land on the cars and get points for smashing them. Yeah. Better go over to the road, because I'm just kind of chicken around the islands. If you can actually, if you're able to land on the land, whoops, that was clumsy. If you're able to land on the land, you can jump off screen to the left and reappear on the right. Kind of interesting. But yeah, like I was saying, you can bash the cars just before you jump to the island or jump over the edge of the road. The cars that are parked there, you can bash into them and get points. Yeah. Well, that was Bump and Jump, also known as Burnin Rubber, but mostly known as Bump and Jump. And it was seen on a lot of home consoles and home computers. Very popular game for the Daddy East cassette system. One of its most popular ones. You can continue from the pattern you left off on, but I'm not gonna. And this coming up is the end of the next is the end of the pattern that I was just on. Like I said, the seasons just rotate, and there's a total of 32 road patterns, and you just keep playing after that. But that was Bump and Jump by Data East in 1982 for the DECO Cassette System, and also for Bally, licensed to Bally Midway for use on their cabinet. Well, this is Crazy Climber 80 saying thanks for watching Bump and Jump by Data East and Bally Midway 1982. Catch you later with another video. See you, folks. Bye-bye.